Hey crafters, I'm back today and I'm gonna work on the Sunset Wine Glass Square Diamond Painting. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. I've got 3 things to briefly talk about, and then I'm just gonna be, gonna be talking about the virus, letting you know how things have been in Germany. Maybe it's gonna sound pretty similar to your life, what you're going through. Just gonna start chatting about it. I'm gonna work with the equal signs, which is DMC 152. And I don't know if I've ever used this color before because it is a very pretty pink peach. Yeah, what you see on your screen is what I see in my tray, so I've got really good light. I like this color, but with so far all of the drills from this painting, you can kind of see I've got some bad drills, and that's with every color I've worked with. So for my 3 announcements, one that's hopefully doesn't bother you. It is getting a little warm in Frankfurt. We are on the top floor of our apartment building, and with heat rising, it has gotten hot inside of our apartment. I mean, we're talking about like 86, upper 80s. So we have put our AC unit in the window. I'm filming this downstairs at the Tunis table. So the AC is now down here. You see that? The 5th drill I placed. I put one of those bad drills. Oh no, this is, no. Okay, there we go. So the AC is on. It has made a slight hum in the back of my videos, and I did have a comment asking me to talk louder. I'm gonna work on talking louder, and if the sound of the AC becomes a problem, I will work on drilling in another space. But the craft room is so toasty. A lot of afternoon light comes in through there, so I'm sitting there and I'm crafting and sweating. So I really wanted to do another drill with me downstairs if the AC is bad. I'm sorry, and I'm gonna work on my sound. 2, the villains painting has shipped. It shipped, I think, on Monday. Today is Thursday? I don't know. We're all self-isolating, so I think it's Thursday. And we'll see when it shows up. Usually our mail takes about 2 weeks, but right now it's obviously everything's moving a little bit slower. I'm hoping to get it within a month. I think that would be like a really optimistic timeline. And I'm gonna be working on this one. If it doesn't drive me crazy, I am not liking these squares. And the 3rd thing, just kind of all of the different stuff that I'm working on right now, but that's a whole long list in itself. Pretty much a lot of sewing and diamond painting. But yeah, I don't know. I am not in love with squares. This is my first square, and it made me realize, I think when it comes to diamond painting, you just fall in love with what you try first. And if you don't fall in love with the craft in general. So I did a round drill first. Loved it. I liked the fact that I had a little bit of space left in the box, so if I didn't put the drill completely in the center, I had a little of give. And my preference is actually the square blocks on a canvas with a round drill. Oh, love it. I don't like the round block with a round drill, as weird as that is. And I think that squares is just expert mode. If you prefer squares, my hat's off to you. You're an expert diamond painter, whether you have done 1 or 10, because squares is harder. And if you're making all that line up, awesome for you, good for you. You are amazing, and I want you to know that. I am struggling with this square, and I do think I got a comment from someone that talked about how squares are really difficult because of her OCD. And you know what? I think the same. I want to line it all up. I want to have it look really great, but that's kind of not how it's going for me. And then I got another comment about, the lighter drills. The lighter drills make it more obvious. So I am trying to work my way down to some of the darker drills, but yeah. So virus stuff. I'm just going to talk about it. It's been on our mind here. everyone's mind every single day, but today is a little bit different because yesterday they announced starting next week they are going to ease the restrictions that have been put on people. And, oh, actually get that on the camera, Meredith. What are you doing? Meredith, what are you doing? So I looked this up. Since, being in the Foreign Service, there's a lot of people in our community that travel. And I feel like we were made aware of the virus very early because travel to certain countries was either limited or it was canceled for anybody that had to work in China and other areas that were starting to see this outbreak. We had our first confirmed case in Germany in January 27th. Hold on, I'm getting a drink. January 27th. So around, or a little bit after the United States. But yeah, it's crazy to think. And I remember at work, sometime in February, because what I do is I deal with the finances, the preschool's finances of getting everyone's monthly payment. And I remember somebody in February paying, their monthly preschool tuition and saying, well, do you think we're going to be open in March? And that I kind of was taken aback by that, but like, wait, no. Well, yes, because our spring break isn't until April. It hadn't even crossed my mind yet that we would end up having the same restrictions as China was seeing and as South Korea and Italy. I wasn't there yet. We were having discussions within our community. The consulate held some discussions about coronavirus and just trying to make sure nobody panicked and everyone stayed calm. And I just remember people around me saying that already. After the first confirmed case in Germany, they were going out and they were stockpiling food. And again, I was not there yet. I just didn't think that it was going to get to that point. And fast forward to March 11th. I'm going to say March 11th. At that point, I think there were less than 2,000 confirmed cases in Germany, but it was spreading very quickly. And at work, we were spending hours of our day talking about, what if, what's going to happen? Parents were coming in and saying, what's going to happen? Just explaining our plan and talking about how well we keep the school cleaned and things that we were doing on our end to just keep everybody aware of, how we were, the approaches we were going to take if anything would happen. But I still was not at a point yet where I thought this was going to be our reality. And then, not on the campus. I'm going to shake my drills. I fell asleep on March 11th. I don't have my dates. I'm going off the top of my head, so I hope that was a Wednesday. And March 12th, I woke up at about 4 or 4:15 a.m. My husband was already up because his phone was just going off. Ding, 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 ding. And I'm kind of sleepy and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, well, it seems like the U.S., there was an address to the nation about travel restrictions coming in from Europe. And it's 4 a.m., 4:15 a.m. I was still sleepy-eyed of like, wait, what's going on? Let's load the news. Let's see if we can figure this out. And then, ding, we got a text. An update alert that Tom Hanks had coronavirus. And I'm like, what? America's dad has coronavirus? This is serious. And it was that day was the first time that we went out to the grocery store and did a large shop of Maybe we want to limit our contact. Maybe we want to start limiting our, time in grocery stores. Because right now, the way we do it, we do small shops. We do a lot of small shops of fresh foods or vegetables, and probably go into a grocery store 3 or 4 times a week. We live a stone's throw away from a grocery store. So it's not a big deal. It's really easy. Oh, we're low on milk. Let's pop over and get a liter of milk and come back. Not a big deal. But that was the first time that it's like, yep, we're going to limit our exposure. I wasn't ever denying this was an issue. I just didn't think, I don't know, maybe I didn't think that it was going to come on so quickly. And it did. From there, I think, I haven't seen any of this in person, but I think Germany handled things really well. On the 13th, March 13th, I think there's 16 states in Germany, and 5 quickly announced that they were going to be closing their schools. And we were waiting to hear what our state was going to do. We're in the state of Hessen. And I think it was like 5:30 p.m. Friday evening that they announced they would be closing. And, we shut the school down. We closed the school. My kids came home from school, and we talked to them about how, they have this new germ. And at their school, they have been telling all the kids, there's a new germ. We want to make sure we wash our hands and we stay healthy. And if you don't feel good, tell mommy and daddy. So they always called it the new germ. We talked about how this new germ was starting to impact our community, and they were going to take a little bit of break, and they were going to learn school on the iPad. And they were really excited about, like, oh my gosh, we're going to get to use the iPad more? And I'm like, yeah, you are. Not for YouTube. Because they will just sit on YouTube and just watch. I don't even, they'll watch people playing with dolls. So not like a cartoon of dolls. They'll watch other kids playing with dolls. So I'm like, you're going to use the iPad for education purposes, not to watch other people play with dolls. But I think it's gone really well for us. And you see memes online, and I've heard other people talking about, like, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy. I'm really loving this time because I feel that since I've got 3 kids and they're little, it's a challenge. Don't get me wrong. It's a challenge, but it's fun, and we play every day, and we've been going to the park. And once they started kindergarten here, kindergarten was really rigid. We were doing a lot of work. It was a long day. They weren't used to it because we didn't have a whole lot of school options in Tunisia. So they weren't doing like a full day preschool there or anything. And they would come home and be exhausted. And when they came home, they would either lay on the couch and ask for a cartoon. And after being at school all day, it's like, yeah, watch a cartoon. And then they'd fall asleep. They'd always fall asleep before dinner. They were exhausted. And once I started working, I was exhausted. And we fell into this routine where our life was just go, 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 go. Get the kids awake. Get the kids to breakfast. Get the kids to the school bus. Get home. Get the baby ready for school. Get yourself ready for work. Go to work. Get home from work. Walk the dog. Go and get the kids from the bus stop. Oh, gotta get ready for dinner now. After dinner, gotta get anything for school done. Homework done. Bam. Bath. Bed, fall asleep, and repeat. But now I feel like we're back into this just stage where we can play, and they're full of energy, and we cut up, and every single night we watch a movie. We watch a family movie together. And sometimes they pick the weirdest movies. One of my daughters picked Armageddon. She wanted to see an asteroid movie. And it's like, well, there's this one. She fell in love with it. She's like, yes. And then it's other times where we're watching a Disney princess movie, but every single night we cuddle up on the couch in the love seat, and we're just together. And there's no timeline. If it goes past bedtime, it goes past bedtime. And if they end up sleeping until like 7:30 in the morning, that's okay too. and even their schoolwork. They meet with their class in the late morning. And then if we want to go to the park because it's a beautiful day, we go to the park. And then we come back and do their schoolwork. Things have just been, like I said, they're a challenge. I mean, the kids miss their friends and they miss going to the playground. But we've spent such great family time together that I will always look back on this experience with my family in a very positive way. And I know what's going on is terrible. And the families all over the world are struggling and dealing with deep things right now. But I will say, for me, being positive is what's gotten me through these 5 weeks, because it's been 5 weeks now for us in Germany. Probably the same for you, or, you know, it's been a long time for you too. And being positive and thinking that the quality time I've gotten with my kids is what has made this an experience I'll never forget. Now, we're still waiting to hear back what an ease in restrictions means for our state. And I think our local state government will be meeting. These drills are all stuck together. Our local state government will be meeting next week, so we'll have a better idea. The press conference for all of Germany stated that smaller stores will be opening. You know, smaller stores are easier to clean, easier to manage how many people are currently in it. I think, and please excuse if any of this is wrong. You guys know I'm taking things in a different language and trying to translate it and put it all together. I think that restaurants and bars will still stay closed, but some schools will start to open, and next week we'll get a better idea. But May 4th is when things will ease a little bit. I mean, oh, here comes a baby. Well, they're not babies anymore. How sad is that? What's up?
Is quiet time over?
Quiet time can definitely be over, but your brother is still sleeping, so whatever you do still needs to be quiet because he's sleeping.
I want to do that stuff.
This one is so hard. It is a square, and it's so hard to line up.
Mom, can I do it?
Yeah, let me talk for a few more minutes, and then I'll let you try a few, okay?
I want to talk some.
Don't grab the camera. Stop.
I want to do it.
I'll let you do an unboxing. Okay, I'm back. I had a little 5-year-old grab the camera, and I got some drills everywhere. I'm gonna clean this up. But yeah, so, you know, we're doing okay here. And I've had so much time to craft. I'm loving it. I've gotten a quilt top done. I've got my fabric cut for the second quilt top. I mean, honestly, if this goes on for like another 2 weeks, I might have my second quilt top. I ordered some new craft stuff. I've ordered some fabric for these quilts, but again, you know, with things taking a little bit longer, if it arrives within the month, I'll be very happy about that. Yeah, if you have any questions about how we've been or just anything about how it's going in Germany, feel free to ask down below. I'm like, okay, I gotta go and break all these drills up and get more drills. Made a little bit of progress. I mean, I've only been drilling for 19 minutes, and of that, I've been talking my mouth off. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fully finish this one, because once that villains painting comes in, I'm starting it. I miss a round. I wanna get to a round again. Okay, I'm gonna cut it off here. I'm gonna go play a bit, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye, crafters.